Hey guys, come on downstairs. Welcome to another real life flight recreation. This time of Air Côte d'Ivoire Flight 700 with service from Abidjan, Ivory Coast to Dakar, Senegal in West Africa, Northwest Africa. We'll be leaving the Ivory Coast at 12:40 p.m. Should arrive in Senegal at 3:30 p.m. and it's an expected 2-hour and 50-minute flight from Félix Houphouët-Boigny International Airport. I don't even know how to say that. How am I supposed to say that? Yeah, I don't know how to speak French. I don't know how to pronounce French words, so forgive me. I 99.9% sure I mispronounced the name of this airport. Pretty small airport. Looks like it's just got a couple of gates. Looks like a sparse flight. This flight, I believe, from what it appeared, operates about once a day from Ivory Coast to the Senegal. We get an abbreviated startup and we will head to our taxi. Not great visibility today. Alright, we will be taking off runway 21. Decent headwind, 9 knots. Really no crosswind to speak of, just a straight headwind. And we're going to get down to the end of the runway here and turn around. There's no taxiway to take us to the end of the runway. So we've been cleared for takeoff, so we'll just get down here, turn around, and head right out. Like I said, not great visibility this time of year. It's kind of nice. I mean, I did flights all summer, and it seemed like they were all nice, clear days. This time of year, we're starting to get into a little bit of weather around the world, and it's been kind of fun lately. So you can see, not a really strong headwind, 9 knots, but it is a headwind. And here we go, we're flying the Airbus A319 in this flight. And V1, and rotate. Alright, positive climb, gear up.
CôTE 700, contact Dakar Center on 129
and retract the flaps.
129.1 for CÔTE d'Ivoire 700. Dakar Center CôTE d'Ivoire 700 is passing 1,000 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
And change our auto throttle from toga to climb. And lock in and engage autopilot, and we're off to Dakar, Senegal. Have not done a lot of flying in Africa. I think the only other flight in Africa that I have posted so far on the channel was from Johannesburg to the western part of South Africa. Landed on a really small runway in that flight. This flight, we're landing at a decent sized airport. But the Ivory Coast looks pretty green, and as this flight transitions, as we get closer to the Senegal, it'll look a little bit drier, actually a lot drier. Start to get into a desert. Our cruising altitude, I believe, on this flight was 37,000 feet.
Request flight level tree 60.
Nope, I'm wrong. 36,000 feet.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 40. Expect flight level tree 60.
So yeah, that would make sense. We're heading west, so we'll be on an even number. Flight level 360 would be our cruising altitude. When we get up to that, we'll turn the seatbelt sign off. And again, the Airbus A319, it's not a study level aircraft. It's simplified, which is nice. It didn't take me as long to set it up and get it in the air. Time is a factor for me. Still waiting for an opportunity to learn the A310 study level aircraft, but just haven't had the time. So I am grateful that Flight Simulator does have simplified versions of commercial airliners, because it's still fun just to get them up in the air and fly, at least with the options that the simplified aircraft give you. It might be the bare minimum, but I mean, it is everything you need to get from point A to point B, in a sim anyway. Alright, so a lot of this Northwest Africa was pretty flat. No real mountains to speak of. A few hills outside of the airport in Senegal, but really not much. It's pretty flat. A little bit hazy. Not really overcast though, just hazy. No clouds. And you can see the terrain is starting to become more arid. The closer we get to the Senegal. I really wish that the colors and sharpness transferred to YouTube. the way it looks on my QLED TV is quite a lot better than this. It's pretty incredible, actually, in HDR. And I just need basically I just need a better capture card. My capture card is like the basic Elgato, like the original Elgato capture card, so it's outdated quite a bit, and capture cards are not cheap, and this one has served me well for the amount of time that I've had it, like 6 years. But I think with Flight Simulator, I'm getting to the point where I need a capture card that will capture better detail. Well, I mean, I guess I do need that. The capture card that I do have can get better detail than this, but then I'm making these videos on PlayStation Share Factory, which doesn't translate the detail, whether the capture card does or not. So I need a better capture card, and I need a better video editing program on my computer. So I mean, there's a lot of needs. I have a lot of needs to make these translate. So what I'm seeing when I fly on my TV is a lot better than what you guys are seeing on these flights, and I apologize for that. But at this point, it is what it is, and got more important things that my family's money needs to go towards. A couple of kids, and some real life responsibilities. So it is what it is. You can see there's not a lot of green as we start our descent into Dakar, Senegal.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet, CÔTE d'Ivoire 700.
So when we started this flight, it looked like we had a pretty decent wind in Dakar. It said it was 14 knots. So we might have to deal with a little bit of a breezy landing up here. But if I remember correctly, I think it was mostly a straight headwind, so it wasn't too difficult. Nothing like a really strong crosswind to wreak havoc on my flight simulator skills. I'm getting better at it, but
CôTE d'Ivoire 700, please expedite your descent 8,000 feet.
we can get some air brakes up. It looks like we've put them back down now. If you're not familiar with flying, what those air brakes will do, not only will they help reduce your speed down to the speed that you want to get at, they will also make your rate of descent increased, so you'll get down faster. So a couple of uses for those air brakes.
Tower CôTE d'Ivoire 70018 miles, south inbound ILS X-ray runway 01 approach.
No.
CôTE d'Ivoire 700 tower. Altimeter 29.85 when 006 at 1 tree.
So we do have the 13 knot headwind.
01 approach.
Cleared ILS X-ray runway 01 approach CôTE d'Ivoire 700.
And it's actually going to be a little bit of a wind from right to left as well. So not an absolute dead straight headwind, but also not a straight crosswind either. So I think we should be alright here. Shouldn't have too much trouble with this landing. So what I was going to say with the speed brakes or the air brakes, I read somewhere, and I'm not a real life pilot, so I don't know. I'm not familiar with a real life Airbus 319, but I did read something somewhere, and I can't even remember where it was, that you really don't use the air brakes while the flaps are extended if you're a real pilot. What, I don't know. Help me out with that. I don't know if that's true, because I kind of use them both at the same time, which maybe you're not supposed to do. Alright. We are approaching Dakar, Senegal. Gear down. Flaps at 4. So fully configured for our landing. Again, this is a simulation of a real-life flight. Air Côte d'Ivoire, Flight 700.
CÔTE d'Ivoire 700, wind 006 at 1 tree. Clear to land runway 01.
So in this video, the air traffic control worked all the way through. So that's nice when that happens. Doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it just cuts out on me completely. They got some issues to fix. I mean, not only do they have some issues to fix with it functioning properly, I don't know, it could be fine-tuned a little bit, let's just say that. Alright. We are now on short final in Dakar, Senegal. And we've disengaged autopilot, my controls now, as we hand fly this approach. And some reverse thrust. Not quite as soft of a landing as yesterday's flight, but not terrible. I've had worse. But a little bit of a hard landing.
CôTE d'Ivoire 700, exit runway when able.
But we're down safely in Dakar, Senegal.
CôTE d'Ivoire 700, contact ground on 121.8.
There you can see a few small hills off in the distance. But other than that, it's pretty flat land here in Northwest Africa. Okay, everybody, welcome to Dakar, Senegal. Nice little flight from the Ivory Coast. And let's see how we did here. We departed Abidjan at 12:43, a little bit late, but we had a bit of a tailwind and arrived in Dakar at 3:08 p.m., which was early. And our flight time was 2 hours and 25 minutes. You can see Dakar is up there on that peninsula. So it's a little bit of a drive from the airport to the city. And officially we're in Ndiès, Senegal. But that's it. Air Côte d'Ivoire, Flight 700 on Mama's Basement.